What is going on, guys? This is Daniel, and in Game 2, the Warriors crushed the Blazers, and in particular, their defense stood out to me as extremely impressive. The Blazers have a good offense, but the Warriors held them to 81 points, though the Blazers were missing Jusuf Nurkic. In the third quarter, the Blazers only scored 12 points, and the reason they dominated so much wasn't because of a genius game plan, just pure execution of their team defense they've been running all season long. Let's get to it. It all starts with their basic rotations. On this play, McCollum will drive, and Zaza promptly steps up, and McCaw helps the helper, dropping low, and McCollum misses, though he got a decent look. Their rotations are so precise. Here on the drive, it's Draymond Green who steps up, and again, nice job by Patrick McCaw to drop low to take away that dump-off pass, and the Warriors force a contested miss. On this play, JaVale McGee has to come up pretty high to defend Lillard in the pick and roll because Lillard is a three-point threat. And because of that, Lillard has no problem driving by McGee, but look at Thompson as he helps his teammate out, rotating over and getting the block. Okay, Klay. Here's another example of help. The Blazers run McCollum off a screen, and the Warriors trap this in part because it's McCollum, an excellent scorer. This is a good strategy, and Green will rotate down to the rolling big man, and in particular he does this because he's guarding a mediocre shooter on the weak side, Al-Farouq Aminu, and McCollum throws it away. Their ability to promptly rotate is crucial, especially when they make a mistake. Here the coverage on top isn't great, and Lillard gets a drive, but Green nicely steps up, there's McCaw dropping low, and they force a miss. Moving on to switches, and Steph and Draymond will switch the pick and roll because Draymond is excellent at switching onto guards, but what's interesting is what happens afterwards off the ball. Steph switched on to Harkless, who in this game spent a decent amount of time in the paint. So Steph will switch again. He'll take Turner in the corner. Thompson was guarding Turner, and he'll take Harkless because Thompson is a bit bigger than Steph, and he's better equipped to handle Harkless' size. Green does a nice job guarding McCollum, and the Warriors get a stop. Watch how Klay and Steph seamlessly trade men. Having a big man like Green who can switch on to scorers like McCollum is just insanely valuable. This is a good defensive possession, and it's a good example of how the Warriors can act on the fly. McGee will double the post, and Iguodala is guarding Aminu, a mediocre shooter, so he realizes he should be the one dropping low to the opposite block to take away that pass while the post is being doubled. So that's what he does, and he ends up taking Harkless, who McGee was guarding, and even JaVale recognizes, okay, now I should take Aminu, and it's sort of a switch between McGee and Iguodala. Good defense, and they force a turnover. One thing that stood out to me in this game is how the Warriors adjusted to the Blazers' set plays. So the Blazers ran this play in the first half where it's a flare screen and they'll look for the slip to the basket. This is a good set play and they score on the Warriors. But in the second half, they stopped this play by switching. Klay will switch on to Harkless before he can slip to the basket and get that backdoor layup. They have the personnel to switch and the Blazers turn it over. Another example is when the Blazers ran this screen the ball screener set. McCollum will set a screen for Vonleh, who will set a pick and roll for Lillard, and the goal of this is to screen Zaza and make him late coming out. That's what happens here as he doesn't get quite high enough to defend Lillard, and for Lillard, that's a decent shot. A few minutes later, the Blazers ran this, and the Warriors just said, okay, we'll switch everything. Steph and Zaza will switch, and Steph will take the ball screener so it isn't Zaza recovering, fighting over a screen, and getting there late. The problem is, Steph was guarding McCollum, and you don't want Zaza guarding McCollum. So off the ball, Draymond and Zaza will switch, with Zaza taking Myers Leonard, so everything's good there. And then with the ball screen on top, it works out nicely for the Warriors, as Steph and Klay can switch this, and they force a difficult shot. Of course they get the basic rotations right because they can communicate on the fly like this like it's nothing. Let's get to a few more plays which show off the Warriors' defensive intelligence. Here, Green will help on a back screen, and he drops far enough so they can't get the backdoor layup, but because he's guarding a good shooter in Allen Crabbe, he knows not to drop too far. On the pass, he runs Crabbe off the 3-point line, good help by the Warriors, and Green blocks a shot. You'll see Aminu try a fake handoff, and it would be very common for West to fall for this fake and jump out on the supposed ball handler, but he stays disciplined, stays in front of Aminu, and forces the tough miss. Portland runs a flare set for Crabbe where he'll pass the ball and then receive a flare screen, and this can get Crabbe an open 3 if the defender guarding Crabbe relaxes or ball watches. Curry does the opposite as he sees the screen, gets through it, and blocks the shot. In Game 2, one way the Blazers helped the Warriors out was by having a lot of unforced turnovers, just careless passes, but at the same time, credit does go to Golden State for being alert, engaged, and getting these steals. On this play, ball pressure is a factor, and Curry stays alert on the weak side and intercepts the pass. Instead of gambling for steals, the Warriors get steals by being in the right position. This is nothing special, just Zaza being in the right place, helping on the back screen, and the Blazers throw it right to him. Well, there you have it, guys. I always like talking about defense, and the Warriors' defense in Game 2 was exceptional. Hope this also got you more familiar with some of the advanced switches that I've talked about in the past. Coming up on this channel, I'll do my best to get videos on series such as Bulls, Celtics, etc. I'll do what I can. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.